On the herd, Jason McIntyre in for Colin Cowherd. We will, yes, you see that on the screen. We will talk about Klay Thompson and Golden State. Big pop on that one over the weekend. But first, we got to talk about the big game on Sunday. Not USA Bolivia, but Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. It's becoming a thing. And I know some people are like, ooh, Jay, heavy WNBA. Listen, the drama has been very spicy between these two, dating back to the Natty in college basketball a couple years ago. That being said, yesterday, Fever, Sky, round 3. I know, regular season WNBA. Jason, what are you doing? Well, listen, the previous 2 incarnations had a lot of drama. You had the one girl body-checking Caitlin Clark when the ball wasn't even in play. Dirty basketball play. No place for that, and it sparked a massive debate. So, by the way, the Fever won that game. And in the second meeting, you had Angel Reese clothesline Caitlin Clark on a drive to the hoop. Was that a basketball play? Yes. Was it also kind of lacking remorse after you clobber someone in the head to not like, are you okay? Sorry about that, blah, blah, blah. Reese showed none of that. She clearly doesn't like Clark. I don't care about the knuckle bumps before the game and saying hi and blah, blah. They don't like each other. That's obvious. They're not going to say that, but that's the truth. So yesterday is round 3 in Chicago. They had a bunch of celebrities there. Jalen Brunson was courtside. There was a rapper. It was exciting. But there was one thing missing. There was no actual fisticuffs, no roller derby action. Where was it? It was actually a basketball game, and it was close. At the end, Chicago pulls it out. They were down like 12 in the fourth quarter, and Angel Reese had a great fourth quarter, just dominating inside. You know, she's got some post moves. She had 25 and 16, another double-double. But here's the thing. We don't really break down regular season NBA games, much less WNBA games. So from that point, you know, I watched the highlights. I saw the end of the game, and it was like, all right, there's not that much drama here. Good basketball, but a regular season game, not a huge story talking point. And this is where it gets interesting to me. And again, this is a difficult one to say. I know a lot of WNBA fans are going to be ticked off when I say this, but has anybody taken a peek at the Angel Reese shot chart? She is on fire right now. 8 straight double-doubles. She's shrunk the odds for Rookie of the Year. Clark is going to win, but Reese is coming after. So the Angel Reese shot chart, her baskets made are all inside the restricted area. I'm not even saying the paint. I'm saying the restricted area, right under the basket. Like there's no real offensive skill outside of putting the ball up and laying it in. Similar to early Shaq, who was just dunking everything. Shaq, though, had an impact defensively. He was blocking a lot of shots. Angel Reese has 2 block shots on the season, so she's not doing much defensively on the interior. Gobbling up rebounds and scoring inside, that's fun. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, was limited in the fourth quarter. She took 3 shots. She hit a 3 on like the first play of the fourth to open it up to a 12-point lead, and then she got the LeBron treatment, folks. I don't know if you watch this closely. Caitlin Clark getting treated like LeBron. I'm talking early LeBron in Cleveland where he had no teammates. Hey, we're not going to let LeBron beat us. And Caitlin Clark could only attempt 3 shots in the fourth quarter. And if you saw in the game-deciding play, Clark gets double-teamed. They're like, you're not getting off a shot to beat us with like 7 seconds left. She makes the right basketball play, which is what LeBron did for years. And some people, not me, criticize LeBron. He's got to take that shot. No, you've got to make the basketball play and hit the open player. Caitlin Clark teammate throws up a brick. Game over. Angel Reese, of course, is the hero now. You got the win. You finally beat Clark in the WNBA. Here's Angel Reese after the game.
I'm a dog. You can't teach that. I'm going to go out and do whatever it takes to win, and every single night, my teammates rely on my energy. So being able to continue the energy, even if we're down, even if we're up, that's what I do.
And listen, she had a good game. The interesting thing is, and again, I don't suggest this, but if you go online during a Clark game against Reese, it's a polarizing topic. And again, Caitlin Clark has said nothing to invite this. A lot of it was started by Reese, who is embracing the villain role. She's embracing it. And her social media account for the Chicago, for the team, they're putting out stuff about Reese and Clark. They're engaging. They're getting involved. It's become a thing. They're leaning fully into it. Nobody's running away from this, except for WNBA fans who are like, no, this is not a thing. It's a thing, folks. Now, whether or not these two can get in the playoffs, they're probably going to be fighting for like the 6, 7, 8 seed or whatever. Listen, I don't think we've ever talked about a WNBA playoff game on this show, but I can guarantee you, if Caitlin Clark is in the playoffs, we'll be doing it. If Angel Reese is, we'll see. The Sky have a pretty good team, much better than the Fever, but that's for another day, another story. Let's go to Alex Curry with the news.
Officially here. I woke up singing. Are you familiar with the Lego movie?
Dimly familiar, yeah.
Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome.
I don't know that
Everything.
one.
No?
Well, yeah.
We're going to keep that going all week because we're going to be here for a bit.
Yeah, I referenced your pink because a staffer on the show told me on Friday,
Yeah.
oh, Jason, I was wearing like a pink shirt. They're like, I love how you're in on Pink Fridays. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing here. So that's a thing at Fox now, Pink Friday.
Well, I mean, on Wednesdays, too, you wear pink.
I can wear pink any day.
All day,
I
every
feel
day.
like I look good
Girl
in
dad.
pink.
My dad did, too. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I was in Phoenix this weekend
so you
for a
weren't even
volleyball
here.
tournament. No, and I haven't been to Phoenix since the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Alex, how do people live in Phoenix, Arizona?
It's crazy because I spent about 8-9 years spring training out there, and it's not like that hot yet, but even then you're hopping from air conditioning to air conditioning.
The only
you
word
can't
is
survive
oppressive.
outside.
It's brutal. Yeah. So but
kind of
fortunately
slaps you in the face.
we don't need to talk about heat, but there is some heat going on in Dallas, Alex.
Yes, there is.
It's a problem, and it's legit. Listen, I got to be honest. I've been on the show now for about 2 years, and I'm being brutally honest with you guys. I don't love talking about the Cowboys. Let's be real. We talk about them a lot, and they don't win any Super Bowls. It's like, what are we doing? They are America's team. This time, though, there's genuine smoke in Dallas. A story that just dropped here within the last couple hours on a website called Go Long. It's a football website. The author's Tyler Dunn. He's been on the herd before. He dropped a bit of a bombshell in Dallas that Mike McCarthy is fed up with Jerry Jones. And it has been a brutal offseason for the Cowboys. Listen, they are always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Right? They've won 12 games the last 3 seasons, yet can't get to the conference championship game. They have 4 playoff wins this century, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And now McCarthy hears his owner, Jerry Jones, say, we're all in. We are all in at the beginning of the offseason. And then the offseason happens, and it's crickets. They lose a couple offensive linemen, starters, lose Tony Pollard, and you look around for all the big moves, and it's like 1-year deal for this guy, 1-year deal here. Ezekiel Elliott's coming back as if that's going to excite anyone. And all of a sudden, McCarthy's looking around like, why don't you do more and say less, ownership? And McCarthy's in a bit of a position of power here because Jerry Jones, in his 80s, is at a bit of a breaking point. He's got Dak Prescott in a final year of his contract, McCarthy, final year of his deal. And when your coach is going through a writer to say he's fed up, Jerry, I think you got to do something. Now, there will be some people who see this and are, Jason, come on, you're making something out of nothing. This is not a nothing burger. I will, as someone who covered the media at a website back in the day, I'll say this. Go look at Tyler Dunn's history. He covered the Packers in Green Bay. You know who their coach was? It was McCarthy. So these two have had a long history together. This is not nothing. McCarthy is clearly ticked off. And I'm going to borrow a line from the great Top Gun. It almost feels like Jerry Jones his mouth is writing checks that his butt can't cash. And when you say we're going all in and you're not at all doing anything, that's a bit of a problem. Remember, Detroit Lions re-signed just about everybody. Detroit Lions added guys on defense. The Eagles added Saquon Barkley, who's going to revamp that offense. And you look around the NFC, everybody's getting better. I don't know that the Falcons are that good, but the Falcons are certainly better than they were a year ago. The Green Bay Packers, who destroyed you in a playoff game, suddenly they're lurking in the NFC as like a potential threat. The Bears got instrumentally better. And you look around the NFC and you're like, geez, is this the beginning of the end? And I got to wonder, if I'm Jerry Jones and I look at that schedule, and we will have it on the screen here for you shortly, the Dallas Cowboys schedule, assuming McCarthy doesn't get a new deal, 5 of the first 7 opponents were playoff teams from last year. That game in Cleveland, they start 0-1, and I think they're narrow underdogs. I believe they could have flipped. That's a troubling game for Dallas. You start out 0-1, you could probably win the Saints game, but Ravens, that won't be a cakewalk. Lamar just coming off the MVP last year. Ravens are good. Giants, we know, are a dumpster fire. Steelers, but then Lions by 49ers. And now all of a sudden it's like, what are we? Are we a middling team? And the back end of the schedule does include the Eagles late in the season. Washington, are they on the come up? Game against the Texans. This is not a 12-win team this year. Yes, they're going to be favored in about 11, 12, maybe 13 games. But the Dallas Cowboys, when your coach is going out there to a media member he knows and saying he's fed up. That's a coach angling for